Damn these gloves for being designed by orangutans. And damn these refs who are so allergic to punishing outstretched fingers that I think they'd go into anaphylaxis if they tried. The much anticipated heavyweight dust-up between Tom Aspinall and Ciryl Gane, the fight that would finally wash the rancid taste of Jon Jones out of our mouths, was ruined before it even got started by a hideous double eye poke at Aspinall's expense by Edward Javelin Hands over here. Following kind of a whatever nothing burger co-main, the air was thick with excitement as the Goliaths both made their walks to the octagon. Even though Aspinall was a sizable favorite, many thinking that he'd make relative light work of the Frenchman, and despite people thinking that no matter how much of a generational talent Tom Aspinall is, his competition is so slim that this division was certifiably cooked. By the time the cage door locked behind the two of them and they were staring each other down, we could all feel it. A real heavyweight title fight with two in-shape monsters with a lot on the line, especially for Tom. He had the weight of the world on his shoulders going in there as the man to send Jon Jones scampering into retirement. So not only did he have to win this fight against a mutual opponent that Jones crushed like it was nothing, he had to make it easy. This fight was to be competitive at all, even going past the first round. Then all the termites would come out of their termite mounds and start guffawing at the notion that this is the guy that was gonna beat Jon Jones? Oh, please, get real, brother. Jon Jones would have smoked this guy. Remember, these are the people that clown Tom losing to Curtis Blades the first time because his leg exploded. They would literally tally up every single second that goes by that Tom wasn't finishing Gane. And in fairness, that is what people expected to happen since Gane is cheeks on the ground. That was kind of what we pictured. But we never got to see if Tom could shut the naysayers up. We never got to see if Gane could maybe upset the odds himself and put a pace on one of the feet. Why couldn't we? Well, because of another goddamned pissing shitting eye poke. I'm tired of the eye pokes. I'm tired of this. It ruined what was so far a great fight. Both guys got their shots off, with the consensus amongst honest people being that Gane was edging the first round by a few strikes. And by a few strikes, I mean a few strikes. Like 3. But we'll get to that in a second. As the minutes pressed on, I was getting more and more excited that we get a good scrap out of this fight that I did not see going in. I actually wanted to see Aspinall tested in these deep waters that Gane was talking about. I wanted it to be competitive. I wanted the heavyweight division to have some goddamn life in it. Even if in the process it was like, oh, Jones did him easier, I didn't care. I wanted a good fight. But again, it was dashed, soiled, covered in doodoo. So yeah, this chews and swallows ass already, but what's been driving me up the wall is the reaction I'm seeing from much of the MMA community. And by that, I mean the reaction from Jon Jones' knuckle-dragging fan base. These people are worse than Tyson Fury fans, I swear to God. If you didn't watch the fight and just saw the headline of no contest and pictures of Tom with a bloody face, and they read some of these stupid-ass takes that Gane was lighting him on fire on the feet, just whooping his ass, then you might come away like, damn, I guess Tom was looking for an easy way out. Well, my left and also my right ass cheek on that. Tom Aspinall quit, yes, but that's because he was finger blasted by Gane in both eyeballs and couldn't see, you slobbering morons. I hate that it ended this way, it sucks, it's lame. But why are you angry at Tom? Don't be angry at him. Be angry at the guy sticking out his phalanges like pikes. The fact that the response to this isn't people clowning on Gane, but rather the guy who got his eyeballs pushed into his skull is maddening to me. Yes, Gane was edging that round. Yes, Gane looked damn good and way better than we thought he would. Yes, Aspinall didn't fold him like we thought he would. But it was not an ass beating. It was a competitive round of MMA where both guys landed punches on each other. People are posting clips of Gane landing jabs on Aspinall's chin like they're spinning back elbow knockdowns or something.
What I saw personally with Tom Aspinall and Ciryl Gane, I think there's no debate anymore. Jon Jones is the GOAT. That Tom Aspinall that we saw today does not beat Jon Jones.
Fucking amphibian. Gane winning a close round that was just heating up does not mean we don't have to see the rest of the fight, and it does not absolve him of the blame for the fight being called off. It's the Frenchman's fault. Be angry at the Frenchman. I'm not gonna come out and say for sure that he meant to do that, but it kind of fucking looked like it. He palms Tom in the face and then drives his fingers deeper into his eyes. He definitely intentionally applied force to it. Now, I could give him the benefit of the doubt and say that maybe he was just trying to post off of Tom's face and push away, but honestly, even if that's the case, That shouldn't be a thing that people can do with fingerless gloves. Not with an open hand anyway. I'm not saying we should add that to the rule set or anything. What I do think they should be adding is immediate point deductions. No more multiple warnings, no more leniency, no more. You give warnings if you catch the fighter doing it at range, but the second someone is outstretching their arm and their fingers go into an eyeball, points should be taken. It's the only way to stop this madness. But yeah, okay. So despite how awful this result is, I actually think it's good for the heavyweight division, all things considered. The immediate rematch is pretty much confirmed, and I imagine that we could see it sooner than later since this fight barely got going, provided Tom isn't fucking blind. There's the rest of the division time to shake up and get more names in the top 10, which with the slew of new signings of big guys they got coming in and some established names creeping up, I could see happening. And more importantly, there's actual zing on running it back. I feel like it's a much more exciting fight now. Now we know it's competitive. Makes it interesting. Now the two of them might actually have a little more fire in the hearth in the build-up. Maybe they're a little pissed off at each other. Tom is generally a very laid-back, nice fellow, but he looked fucking mad in that interview.
Guys, I just poked knuckle deep in the eyeball. Why are you booing? What am I supposed to do about it? I didn't do poke. I can't see.
Prospect of an angry Tom Aspinall is truly terrifying, and part of me hopes he carries that into the rematch. Like, no more Mr. Nice Tom. He was fucked around by John Jones for so long, forced to defend his interim title, and then wasn't able to come back until over a year after that. Finally gets in there, and then it ends like this. I don't blame him for being furious. Person this sucks the most for, I think, though, is Volkov, since he really should have been in there tonight after getting robbed by Gon in their last fight together. But his performance against Almeida really wasn't all that impressive, so I think him fighting the winner of Gon or Aspinall this first go-round would have just been a more boring outcome. But I'm not saying he should have to fight anyone else in the interim. If anyone in the UFC actually deserves to just sit out and wait for a title shot, it's him. So that's what he should do. And yeah, lastly, John Jones and his fans can all go eat granite until their teeth are left a bloody ruin. He still fled for the hills from Tom. Even if Gon pieced him up on Saturday and won the belt for himself, Jones still ran away scared. He will never wash that stain off his legacy. He never wanted any part of Tom, and he never will. I'm tired of this logic that when a fighter is blatantly ducking an opponent, and then said opponent either loses or shows vulnerability, that means we just never had to see it anyway. Oh bro, John Jones would have destroyed this guy. Okay, well he didn't. He did not do that. You don't get to count this as a win. Styles make fights, and I still hold that Tom would have been a nightmare for Jones to handle. We don't count moral victories in this sport. You get wins when you punch people in the face and you get your hand raised. Good God, man. I will never understand their support for the way he bitched out at the end of his career. I will never understand thinking fights that never happened were just foregone conclusions because look, Gon landed some jabs on Tom's face. He punched him in the face a few times. He destroyed him and Tom quit like a baby. No, he did not, and no, he did not. And you are a buffoon if you say that.